kids learn to read, the world opens up to them. They can learn anything from a book. And escaping to a different time or place through a good story is not only fun, it also builds thinking and social skills. As essential as it is, learning to read is sometimes frustrating for both kids and parents. So let's take a look at some books that will make the learning to read journey easier and more enjoyable for your family. Learning to read begins with phonemic awareness, or the ability to break words into individual sounds. Little tiny people start to hear those sounds when the grown-ups read to them from a book that rhymes. Come on, baby elephant, there's lots for us to do. Stretch your trunk up very high and grab some leaves to chew. It's helpful to have an alphabet book on hand. In Fingertrail ABC, toddlers love using their fingers to follow the trails and tracing the letters. As they name the objects on the page, they hear the sound of the letter over and over for more phonemic awareness.
Monkey is a magician. Magic! Narwhal with a net.
Catching fish.
Okay, it's time for the star of this video. Seriously, it's the star. Ta-da! My first reading library! Whether you're teaching your child to read at home or want to supplement what they're learning at school, this collection is priceless. My first reading library starts with level 1 and it introduces 8 phonemes or sounds at a time, each book building on the other. Usually books that are made up of 8 or 16 or even 24 sounds can be pretty boring and plotless, but these books are colorful and funny and enjoyable, partly because they employ shared reading, where the parent reads one part with more difficult words and interesting words, and the child reads a very simple part. So even though this is the most basic and simple decoding, kids are still giggling and excited because they're reading a story.
There's someone there, I'm sure of it. Sam, do stop barking.
Sit, Sam, sit.
As kiddos progress through the series and acquire new skills along the way, they feel so proud of themselves. When they finish a story, they can play the games in the back as a little reward. And here's a secret grown-up tip. The puzzles and games help you check their reading comprehension.
Pit, sit, sad, mad.
Great job, sister. High five.
Library has 50 books, and it will take a child through 2nd grade. It is an incredible value. If you have a kiddo in preschool through 1st grade and you can only get one thing today, get this. The key to building reading skills? It's practice. Having phonics books on hand to practice makes that easy. Teachers love our phonics readers because they combine phonics and the whole word approach or sight words. Kids love them because they're hilarious. They don't feel like reading homework, they're just fun. We have over 20 phonics stories to choose from, but our best value is to choose combined volumes, where you can get several stories for less than the price of 2 individual titles. Tired kids or busy mamas can scan the QR code on the back so kids can practice and follow along to sneak in some reading practice on a busy or exhausting day. By the way, phonics stories are also a great choice for toddlers and preschoolers because they rhyme. In School of Monsters, kids are drawn to the bright illustrations and silly stories. Read them to tiny kiddos, point out the words in bold for beginning readers to sound out, and eventually kids will be so excited to read the whole story. The Complete Book of Farmyard Tales is the very first Usborne book I ever purchased, and it's definitely a family favorite. I mean, at this point, it's part of our family. The 2 lines of text make it so that this book grows with kids, from toddlerhood when they're ready to turn the page after one sentence, to about 2nd grade when they can read the whole page independently. If you've got kiddos itching to jump into chapter books, Hey Jack and Billie B. Brown are the perfect introduction to chapter books. Kids relate to Billie and Jack because Billie and Jack experience the same kinds of things they do. They're characters that kids want to be friends with. The author, Sally Rippin, created Billie and Jack after her youngest child was diagnosed with dyslexia. And she saw the need for kids to have chapter books so they felt grown up, funny and interesting stories so they wanted to read, and easy to decode words so kids could build confidence in their abilities. It's the perfect combination, and kids that have one Billie or Jack book always ask for more. Okay, now go ahead and tell us where your family is at on the learning to read journey.